Hey everybody, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane and today is October 18th, 2016. This is episode 104, I think, 103, I don't know, 10 something. Welcome to the show. I am so happy you've joined me. I am going to be catching you up on lots of sock knitting things and some shop update stuff and prize winnings. So let's first get to the prizes. For a few weeks now, we have had a giveaway thread open for some yarn from Kim Marie's Knit Knacks. And there were two skeins that were up for grabs. Well, one of these two was up for grabs, shall I say. So we have this skein that is 100% superwash merino. It's a sock weight yarn in the chameleon colorway, 438 yards. And this skein is the West Texas Sunset colorway, and it is 75% merino, 25% nylon, 680 yards, so it would be like a shawl, perfect for a shawl at almost 700 yards, and this is the West Texas Sunset. And I drew one winner from the thread, and you will get your choice of whichever one you would like, because she gave one for me and one for y'all, and I can't choose. They're both so pretty, so the winner gets to choose. And let's get to that. The winner of this thread, which was amazing, y'all were giving me great ideas for Netflix shows and or other TV shows and new things to watch. And we had 184 entries, and the winner was number 175, and I'm going to go over here. And that post is it Skyly Knits? Not exactly exactly how you say that, but that is Amanda from Mio, Michigan. So Amanda, who is Skiley Knits on Ravelry, if you will message me with your choice of either this skein, which is a shawl length, or this skein, which would be also a shawl length, but just not as large. Message me your choice, and I will get this in the mail to you. And I also want to thank Kim from Kim Marie's Knit Knacks, and she is on Etsy, and she is local to my Houston area, which is awesome. And she has a podcast, and she's just all around great. I hope that you've had a chance to go over to her Etsy store, and show her some love, because she is very talented and just an amazing dyer. So, Amanda, let me know your choice and I'll get it right out to you. So that is the giveaway. That's always so fun. I love doing giveaways. Okay, so finished objects. I have two. Sorry, I keep knocking this. I have two finished objects this week. Both of them are socks, no surprise. So I finished, these are on the blockers first, even though they were the second pair done. I finished this pair of Spun Right Round in the Chameleon colorway, and I've got my Sucra Miniatures marker on there. This is the donut on top of a cupcake. It was a limited edition. So these are done. I think last time I spoke about how I was going to I took a picture of these in the grass and I just found a huge leaf on the back. I spoke about how I needed to rip back the heel and reknit the toe, and I think that was this one. So I did that. I rip out the toe to make it longer and then reknit the toe. So I did that, and then I cast on and knit the second one. So I have the pair now. And this is just a plain vanilla kind of my standard sock recipe. And so those are done. And then I finished this pair of, also with fur all over it. I don't know that it's going to fit on these blockers. It's just too small, so I'm not even going to try. But I finished this pair of socks. They are out of opal, and it's a DK weight. I did not try to match them up, but they're not actually too dissimilar. But they are not exact matches, as you can tell. And these are for my son. I ended up knitting these for my oldest. He tried them on, and they'll be even better, you know, once they're washed and blocked and everything, and a little bit softer. So I'm going to give them a good wash, a good soak, let them really kind of loosen up, and I think they're going to be perfect for him. And then this one had one of my cute little pumpkin cupcakes. Pumpkin witch Halloween, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And on the Sucra Miniatures note, I have been selected as one of the brand reps for Sucra Miniatures, which means that I will be helping to promote new items. I love their products. As you have known for a long time, many of you have told me that you have been enabled by seeing things that I have here on the podcast. And now what is really awesome is I have 2 ways to offer you discounts. So if you are a brand new customer, never purchased anything from Sucra, then I have a link that you can go to, and you will get 15% off of your first purchase. And that's a separate link because Chelsea is trying to, of course, track new customers. And then she didn't want to leave out those of us who are loyal customers of hers who love her product. And so I also have a discount code available to use if you are an existing customer of hers, and it is for 15% off. So no matter what, whether you are new or whether you are an existing customer, I have a discount code for you, a way to earn 15% off. If you have questions about it, I will put everything in the show notes and hopefully make it very clear. But if you're still wondering or have questions or issues, I'm more than happy to help. It's really an honor. There were so many people that put in entries to try and be a brand rep for her, and I am completely honored and flattered that she chose my submission and that she wanted to work with me. So that's just a little interjection since we were talking about stitch markers there. But those are my finished objects. So I have 7 pairs of socks now for the Carolina Fiber Girls Socktober contest. So 7 pairs total, and I'm over 100 points now. So I'm doing pretty well. All right, so as far as works in progress, I have a pair of socks that has as many points as I could possibly load into it. I have one of these socks done. Oh my gosh, dog hair all over it because I wore it like for 5 seconds last night. Isn't that how it works? So this sock pattern is called Tortuga Twist, and it is by Turtle Girl, Christy Payne, I believe. I don't have the pattern here, but I know the pattern is called Tortuga Twist. And it is a bottom gusset patterned sock. It's very interesting to look at it on here. Totally interesting. Anyway, so the yarn that I'm using is Marigold Gin in the Sidewalk Chalk colorway. Sorry, I'm shedding apparently, like as we speak, shedding. Marigold Gin, Sidewalk Chalk, And I love this yarn base. I love the colors. So here it is in the cake, and here it is in the sock. And the pattern has some very simple, kind of wavy, not really cables, but just kind of back and forth stitches. There is some few little cable details in the heel and also in the cuff. It is an asymmetrical foot, so you can see that on the foot of the sock the pattern kind of points to the right toe. I just love how this worked in the stockinette. I think it's so pretty. And then the really cool thing about this sock is that it uses her double gusset, which is a gusset on the bottom of the foot, and it's really kind of amazing. It's like a little cup for your heel, and it just sort of cups your heel and pulls everything in right in your arch. It's really, really very cool. So I'm excited to see how it wears. If you are familiar with knitting, flap and gusset socks, normally you have your decrease line that kind of makes a line right there. And this does all the work for you on the bottom. So it's interesting. I'm interested to see how it wears. It certainly by feel feels nice and feels like it's going to be a nice sock to wear. And I have not cast on the second one yet, so that will happen maybe tomorrow. And that one has me with lots of points for Socktober because I just loaded it all up with sponsors. Find a place to put everything. I have been working on my Texans striping sock. This is Lilliput yarn. I have actually been working on it a little bit, not during game time, because I want to finish this pair this month because Lilliput is a sponsor for Socktober, which earns me extra points. So, Christina, if you're watching, I'm cheating a little bit. Sorry, not sorry. So here it is so far. So I have a heel and a little bit of a leg. I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going into the 7th color stripe. I don't know how long I'm going to make these. If I'm going to try to get all these socks done before the 31st of this month, I really need to get going. So it may not be a super long sock, just so that I can get the second one started. But that's going well. So that is 2 sock whips. Oh my gosh, y'all, I just ate lunch and seriously, I'm dying. I feel so full. I feel like I have food up to here, which is never a good feeling. And now my back is hurting. Just a mess. I keep fidgeting. I'm just gonna lean back and be really uncute. Okay, so my next sock whip is a pair of opal socks. This is the first opal that I cast on with. I finished those other opal DK weight for my son, but these will be the first opal socks that are for me. So here is the first one. Oh my gosh, I love it. Looking at it on the blocker, I love it so much. The yarn is one of the Little Prince opal colorways. I know the card is in here. I just have to find it. So it's opal, the Little Prince, and it's colorway 7766. And I believe I ordered this from Webb's sometime last year or the year before. I can't totally remember. But and then the accent color that I'm using is a Deborah Norville Serenity sock, just from Joann's or somewhere. So I finished the first one. Super duper love it. I knit this one top down And it's a Fish Lips Kiss heel that I did as I was working it. And then kind of my standard toe. I really, really, really love this one. Seeing it on screen, I love it even more. Oh, this one is kind of, this pair is the one that I have been, I guess, concentrating the most on over the last few days. I certainly worked on it a bunch this weekend. So, there's some stitches that flew off of. All right, I'm gonna have to be really careful. I'm not using my own things, my whip minders. It's very unresponsible of me. Okay, so here's the second one. And this is a Sucra Sucra Miniatures Peach, which I just thought the colors went well with it. So that is that one. Once this one gets going, now that I'm in the stockinette, it flies by. So I'm feeling very hopeful that that will get done in the next couple of days. Plain vanilla is pretty easy to find little pockets of time to work on. I think once I get past the heel on it, then I am going to cast on that other one, the Tortuga Twist, the brown sock. And this has all been in my bag that I got at Zombie Apocalypse from Silver Shed USA. And the last sock whip that I haven't been working a ton on it, but I have put some rows in here and there, and it's almost ready for a heel. This is a sock blank that I purchased a little less than a year ago at Kid and You Festival last year. The yarn, let's see, the sock blank is from Lone Star Arts Vintage Holiday Party. And so it looks like this. It's just a big green and red speckled craziness. And that's how it's knitting up. So I have a Progress Keeper here. I think this one's from Homespun House. It's part of a kit last year. And yeah, really enjoying it so far. I love the kind of the white and the red and just how it's all working out. Yes, it is from a Homespun House because I have the other one here. And this is in my bag. That was the kit last year that I did with Mustache, and the Vintage Rose. So I think that's it for whips, which is great. I'm doing so many socks. I did a couple of Halloween. Really, I only did one Halloween pair. Goodness, let's see. Excuse me. I did one Halloween pair, which were the opal. I have another pair of Halloween yarn caked up, but I don't know that I'm going to have time to cast it on because I'm really focused on finishing all these pairs. These 4 pairs of socks that I showed you that are current works in progress are the only sock whips I think that I have. I've ripped out several pairs, I think 3 or 4 pairs that I just knew would never finish. They were either too big or too small or not quite right, or for whatever reason they weren't going to get worked on. And I wanted the yarn back, either to recast on the same thing again or something different. So I'm looking over here because I have this shelf right next to me that is kind of all of my yarn that I have reclaimed from projects. So I think that those are the only 4 that I have going. And I'm already dreaming of fall, like fall as in leaves and warmer colors, and I don't really gravitate a lot to warmer colors, which is interesting for me. So I kind of have these two skeins that I pulled out that I'm doing a lot of dreaming about. One is this skein of Miss Babs in the Petrified Forest colorway with all of these browns and kind of crimsons, and there is this kind of purpley plum and then that green. I just think this will make a beautiful pair of socks. And then this one, which why this says fall to me, I don't really know. It's probably just the plums and the deeper colors. But this says fall, like fall to me. Savvy Skeins Pandemonium. It is a sparkly, I think it's on her gold, it's a gold stellina. I'm almost positive. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It's beautiful, whatever it is. I have had the hardest time restraining myself from caking this up to start it. I just really want to see what this looks like when it's knit up, and so I am restraining myself because if this is like 4 sock whips and I can get them finished, or at least most of them finished by, I won't finish the Christmas ones. I'm not focusing on those at all, really. The only reason I worked on them at all over the last week or so was because other socks were at a point where they couldn't travel, and those were the only things cast on that were at a travel spot, meaning they weren't at a heel basically, because I can do a toe while traveling, but heels, if I have to look at it, that's a little harder for me. So anyway, but I'm restraining myself. I really would like to finish those 3. And then I'll feel better about casting on a pair or 2 of fall socks. And I also know that at some point in November, I'm going to cast on my Dragonfly In yarn because of the Gilmore Girls starting. So anyway, that's kind of my dream knitting. I do have quite a few things to show you in Hello Lovelies, more than I thought I would have. To be quite honest. And there's a whole big bag full of stuff. So settle in, because apparently all the yarn was coming this week. Okay, so last episode, I put out a plea. I showed you the 2 skeins of hedgehog fibers that I got as part of the club shipment. And I put out just if anybody has that skein of Cat's Pajamas that was a pink skein, I would really be interested in it because I loved it, and I just really loved it. And I had a sweet, one of you, I won't say your name, but one of you messaged me and said you had it and that you would, you would love to trade for a bag, which I am always up for. So we traded for a bag, and then she also showed me this other skein that was a club colorway that I fell in love with, that she said she was willing to destash, and so I bought that from her. So I got 2 skeins of hedgehog. So exciting. Okay, so this is the one that I put out the call for. It's called Cat's Pajamas, and it is all of these bright, crazy pinks with kind of neon purple and blue and yellow and coral sections. It's just amazing. That right there, that's so fun. Cat's Pajamas. And then the skein that she knew that I would like, that she was willing to destash to me, is called Dollhouse. And it is mostly blues and purples with these kind of pinks. To me, this is sort of like Monet with pink and coral, like way more pink and coral. And isn't that beautiful? So I have 2 new skeins to the hedgehog stash. So excited. So these back in the bag. I got those this week. I purchased a, let's see. Yeah. Okay, so I purchased a sock blank kind of on the fence as to whether we'll say from where. If you really want to know from where, I guess you can message me, but okay, so here's the story with this sock blank. I purchased this on Etsy from an Etsy seller. They're pretty popular. They're pretty well known. And it's gorgeous. I loved it. I loved this picture. I mean, I had this, it was one of those where I loved it and it sat in my cart for probably 3 weeks before I purchased it. I was so excited about it because the picture showed this gorgeous sock blank with all of these beautiful kind of rusts and pinks and purples, and I thought that is kind of like a Diane fall, right? You know, it's just beautiful. So I get the sock blank in, and I literally had needles out, ready to cast it on. I was casting on fall socks. You know, I didn't care about Socktober. I was starting them, and even if I just started them and then put them away until Socktober ended, I had to start them. So I get the sock blank in. Well, much to my sadness, the rest of the sock blank looks like this, which is very white centric, and then it just sort of gradients into that beautiful dark section. The only picture on the listing just showed this, not that this was the other end, which is pretty different. And I get one of a kind, I get can't be repeated, I get these are all unique, but it was a listing for only one, and this was the only picture of, and it was, I think it was maybe like swirled up with this was all kind of like that. So if you see this, that's what you think it's going to look like. They had all of this other stuff hidden. And I messaged the seller and, you know, expressed that I was a little disappointed in, you know, that wished that it is gorgeous. It's beautiful colors and I will use it, but I'm just not going to use it for what I really bought it for, which was beautiful fall socks, that I'm going to have to look for a shawl pattern or something that's kind of a gradient, you know, something like that. I don't know. I haven't gotten a response back. It was a vendor that was at, that vended at Rhinebeck this last weekend. So I haven't heard back, and I may not, and that's fine. I felt like I, you know, said my piece by saying, you know, hey, maybe you should post another picture or post a picture of the entire gradient so that, you know, especially if it's something that's pretty different from end to end, you know, that way your buyers can know, hey, this is a little bit different than maybe what you're thinking. You know, I don't know. It would have been helpful for me because then I would have known that's what I was getting. I could have made a more educated decision about my purchase. So all of that to say, if you want to know who it's from, I can certainly tell you, but I'm not trying to blast this person. I haven't gotten a response from them. And I did not leave them a bad review because the product itself is beautiful. But I am hoping they respond and just at least acknowledge my disappointment, I guess. As a business owner, would always hope that somebody felt that I do the same. So, and I always want to know if you're disappointed. Oh my gosh, please let me know. Because I will always do my best to make it right. So anyway, that's that. But that is a sock blank that I purchased. And I am on the lookout for a pattern for it at some point. I have a lovely stash of new yarn that I purchased on the, after my trunk show last week. So I was at a lovely shop called the Sated Sheep, and I purchased 2 skeins there. One is this Arnie and Carlos Regia, and this is from the 3rd line that, is a much different pattern, I guess, than the first 2. And I just loved these colors so much. That pink, I just absolutely fell in love with that kind of 2-tone pink and purple big section right there. So, and it was really, really reasonably priced. Much more so than other stores that I've seen it. So I was happy to get that. And then there was a lady there who was a yarn dyer from Texas. And she was having a trunk show of her yarn while I was having a trunk show of my bags. And so I purchased a skein of her yarn. And it is called Noti Hand Painted Yarns. And that color is probably not that disaccurate. It's this, what I would call a blurple, kind of a purpley blue. That's showing maybe a little more royal. It's a little more purple, I think, than what you're seeing. And it's a gorgeous 437 yards, 100% superwash merino, so it will be used in a shawl. I, as a rule, do not use yarn that does not have nylon in it for socks. So this will be a shawl, but I just loved that color. And how deeply saturated it was. And then I went to, Hill Country Weavers on my way home, stopped in Austin, and I have never owned any Brooklyn tweed. And I have just seen so many shawls and big cozy things lately made with Brooklyn tweed, and I just felt like I needed to have some. So I purchased 5 skeins of Shelter, which is the worsted weight. And this is the sweatshirt colorway. So it's just this lovely medium gray worsted weight yarn. 140 yards. It's very lofty and airy. I'm really excited to see how it knits up into a accessory pattern. I'm really just in love with it. So I have 5 skeins of that. I think I already have the pattern that I'm going to do, whenever that may be. Not until November for sure. And the last thing that I want to show you was a lovely gift. It's just so generous, I can't even tell you. And I have this card that I just want to get all the details correct. This is from Allison, and she is the owner behind the Yarn Parlor, which makes project bags. And she, so she is launching a new collection of project bags. She wanted to send me one. They are all inspired by ice cream sundaes, including sprinkles, chocolate syrup, whipped cream, and a cherry on top. She's added a little touch of bling to this bag. And the new collection launches November 4th in her Etsy shop, The Yarn Parlor. And she also has a podcast by the same name, The Yarn Parlor. So, make sure I can get this here without, okay, just don't want to. All right, so here is her bag, right? Isn't that so cute? So it is waffle cone bottom, or like the waffle bowl, with ice cream and sprinkles. You can see that she put the Swarovski crystals on it, just kind of all over on some of the sprinkles. Chocolate syrup, the white for the whipped cream, and a cherry on top. And then she also included little cherry stitch marker, a progress keeper. Is that not the cutest thing you have ever seen? So cute. She also included in here for me, oh, and I love the lining too. Super cute. She also included some tea, Spice Dragon Red Chai, which sounds amazing, and this cute little kind of ball of hot pink glittered yarn. It's just about that color. So thank you so much, Allison. I will definitely make sure that I put a link in the show notes to her shop so that you can head on over there, get all of the information, and check her out. So I sure had a lovely, lots of Hello Lovelies this week, which was amazing. So now I want to talk shop news, shop business. If you're not interested, I totally understand. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. And if you are interested, thank you for staying. So I had a trunk show about a week and a half ago in Dripping Springs. It was part of the Hill Country Yarn Crawl, which is, I think, the largest yarn store crawl in Texas. Super fun. The Sated Sheep is the store that I was in, and it's a relatively new store, less than a year old, and super, super cute. Beautiful yarn choices. I wish and I hope that she gets her website updated soon with all of her brands and yarns and things that she sells, because she has quite an amazing and eclectic groupings of yarn that she has chosen to sell, and beautiful, beautiful things. Lots of the fiber companies, Tundra and Acadia, Regia yarns. She had Malabrigo and Madeline Tosh, lots of European yarns. Just a really, really well curated selection of yarns. And one thing that I loved is she had many yarns that had a cotton or a linen blend to them, but they weren't just all linen or all cotton. One of my biggest, I hate to say a pet peeve, I guess maybe just personal frustration with stores in Texas, is that there's this thought that we can't knit with wool in the summer because we don't want to wear wool in the summer, and we don't. We don't want to wear, no one wants to wear wool in the summer. But I also don't only want to knit with a 100% cotton as the only alternative to knitting with wool to wear. And she had a beautifully curated selection of yarns that were blends that were maybe a silk and linen blend, or maybe a, I think there was an alpaca linen blend, which was amazing, cotton and linen, and just some other things that were different from the normal, but that made beautiful garments with beautiful drape, and they were cool and wearable. It was all I could do, quite frankly, to not purchase a sweater quantity of one particular, this one particular thing that she had a sample of. It was just a sleeveless tank, and was a little, kind of with a split hem, longer in the back and short in the front, and it was just knit out of the most beautiful yarn. I wish I could remember it. It was gorgeous, but I thought that was probably my favorite thing out of the store, is that she did a really great job of curating that collection of yarns for her shop. The other thing is that there were lots of little seating areas, lots of them, like little in between shelves. She would have, maybe just a table with 2 chairs. The center aisle had lots of 4-top tables, 2 and 4-top tables, just kind of down the center of the store. And it wasn't that large of a store, but the way that she set it up had lots of little places where you could have, just you and a friend could sit, or you could pull a few tables together in the middle and have a larger group, for a class. They also sell wine. She has a liquor license. They sell wine by the glass or by the bottle out of the store. How genius is that? Just really, really, really well done. Excuse me, I'm talking so much now, I'm super thirsty. So I enjoyed this shop, and thank you all so much for coming out to see me. It was quite a successful day. I am thrilled, just with all of the people that made the trip just to see me, whether they were doing the rest of the yarn crawl or not. just so many people that came out to see me and support me and buy my bags, and I am truly grateful. And then so many of you that have gotten a chance to take advantage of the bags that I put in the shop afterwards. So, and there are still some available. I did want to make a note that, you know, if you are interested in Halloween bags, there are still a few available. I do have some of these pumpkin ones, the little glitter, kind of the gold glitter pumpkins. I think I have 2 or 3 of those available. I have this cute little sheep is in there. And then there will be some more of the sheepdogs and alpacas in the shop coming soon. I have to order more zippers. I have a really large zipper order that has been ordered and it's on its way. Hopefully, hope it gets here late this week, but I have a feeling it's going to be next week. So it could be next week before there's kind of a lot of things actually that I'm waiting for those zippers on. But there's drawstrings, there's all sorts of things in the shop. Let's see what else. Oh, this other Halloween bag. I think I have it called Dia de los Muertos in the shop, but it's got the little skulls inside the flowers. The sugar skulls. That's really cute. I have, remember these, from the collaboration with the Prairie Girls. So the Suburban Prairie bags, those are in the shop. And then some of you have already taken advantage of this, and I still have about half of the pre-orders are still available. But I have the the peppermint latte version of the pumpkin spice that I just did. So we've got the peppermint latte version, and I'll pull up a picture on my screen. So it's going to look like that. So it is, wow, it's just kind of all sorts of weird. But it's got big poinsettia Christmas flowers with the red Christmas coffee mugs. And it's all on a black, kind of a dark, either charcoal gray or black background. So those pre-orders are in the shop and they will mail before Thanksgiving so that you'll have them for the whole entire month of December for sure. And leading up to it. My goal is to get those out and in the mail no later than November 19th, which is the Saturday of before, the week before Thanksgiving. The other exciting thing that will be up next week after I get the zippers is I have a very, very exciting collaboration that I am doing with Vanessa of the Vintage Rose. She and I have put together a sweet little collaboration to together, and I just love it. So I don't have, like I said, I don't have any of the bags sewn up because I'm waiting for the zippers, but I just wanted to give you a sneak peek. I'm so excited about it. And these will be going up next week sometime as soon as I get, you know, everything finished. But I just fell in love with this fabric. So it is sweet thermoses and teapots and teacups with all the flowers. So I just loved it. And there will be 2 different sizes of bags. There will be a shawl-sized bag, the larger bag, and then there will also be the smaller sock-sized bag. So you can get either one. And with each bag, Vanessa has put together these 2 beautiful stitch markers. And I want to show you just how perfect they are with this fabric. I'm taking them out of the packaging so you can see them better. So we have a teacup, and this is a little porcelain teacup with a kind of the metallic top. And it's got the roses and flowers on there. And these are all they're all Progress Keepers, so they're the lobster claw. To go with all of the flowered tea pots and cups on here. And then there is a matching teapot, also on a Progress Keeper. So this with this. Isn't that super cute? I just love it. So these kits will be available, and when I say kit, it's the bag and 2 stitch markers. There will be 10 shawl bags and 10 sock bags, and they will be available sometime next week as a pre-order. I will have all the fabric and everything in by the time you order, so they should go out pretty quickly. Not the normal 4 to 6 week, I don't think. It should just be like 2 to 3 weeks. But I just, because I don't know how many, and I have to make them and wait for the zippers to get here. So they won't, go out till next week, or they won't even go up until next week. So those are some things that are coming. I'm super excited about it. Like I said, there are still some of those peppermint latte pre-orders that are out there, so go take advantage of those if you would like that. And I think that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. And oh, I did want to say one more thing. So I have a new feature on my Instagram, and it is, probably should have said this in the regular portion of the podcast, but I'm just gonna say it here. I have on my page, I have a new thing, a new feature that is going to make it so much easier for me to get you to exactly where you need to go to find the things that I'm talking about on Instagram. So I now have a link in my profile right there. If you see, it says link in profile. Anytime you click on that, you are going to be taken to a page that looks like this. And so this morning I posted about a paleo pumpkin spice creamer recipe that I enjoyed. And if you want to go to the recipe link, which is on Pinterest, then you'll click on that picture and it will take you to Pinterest to go directly to the link. So that's really exciting. Similarly, you can go back to this, and I also have the link if you are wanting one of these bags, the peppermint spice or peppermint latte. You can click on that. Let's see. Yep. And it takes you directly to Etsy for the exact link for the Etsy listing. So, and when I do things like when I talk about a Secret Sugar Miniatures charm and you want, oh yeah, I need to make an order, I will have it linked directly there. So I'm hoping that makes it easier to get to all of the places that I, want to get you to. So that you can find out either more information about a product or a recipe or anything, whatever I happen to be talking about. So I hope that is helpful for you. I'm really excited about it because I think it's going to cut down on the running around of everybody and trying to find things. So if that is helpful, please let me know. It would be good feedback for me to know if that is helpful. Okay, so I think that's it now, officially. Thank you again so much. I hope that y'all have a lovely week, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.